So how do you get great sounding electric guitar parts inside of Studio One quickly and easily? I want to show you how to do that in 3 simple steps in this video. And the first 2 steps don't have too much to do with mixing. Let me explain. Let's jump in. Hey friend, my name is Eric Miller and I help guitar players record and produce music from their home studio. Let's give a listen to this song just to give you an idea of some of the guitar parts. I'm going to play some different sections. Here's like the intro. By the way, the vocals are all muted, so you can just focus on the guitar parts. Here is the chorus. Okay, here is the breakdown section. All right, here is like a kind of harmony part. And then finally, at the end, here's more of a lead line. Okay, so the first 2 steps of this process really have more to do with, in my mind, coming up with a conception of how you want the guitars to sound before you even start recording. So step number 1 is getting a good tone. So there's 2 ways to do this. One is you can use Ampire, which is in Studio One. And I've actually already done a video on this. You can click the link above right there, and if you want to go watch that video. So you have your amp sims and you can just dial in your tone straight from there, or you can go the more traditional route, which is what I did in this song, using tube amplifiers. I have a Fender tube amp, and then I have pedals. So for the pedals, I usually use a compressor, some overdrive pedals going into delay, and then finally reverb. So then those are kind of baked into your recording. So you, in the beginning, before you record, you're going to kind of dial in some of those sounds that you're going for, that you're conceiving of in this style. Now, by the way, I also have a free gift for you. If you're interested in improving your guitar tone using your own current gear, I have a free great guitar tone checklist. You can get that by clicking the link in the description below. Okay, so the second step is also involved in this conceiving of a guitar sound. It's your arrangement of your guitar parts. Now you can see, like here, this is all, there's actually only 4 tracks of guitar. The first one is your main rhythm guitar part. And for this song, I really wanted this kind of wide guitar sound. So it almost like you would hear in a band like AC/DC or Foo Fighters, bands that have 2 different guitar players. Oftentimes they're playing kind of 2 different guitar parts using different voicings. So that's kind of what I was going for in this song. So this first electric guitar part is actually panned all the way hard left. So you can see that right there. And then the second guitar part is panned hard right over there. And then even this little harmony part is panned left. And then the solo is also panned almost all the way hard right. So that's what I was really going for in terms of trying to get this sound. I didn't even do that much leveling there. So I just dropped down the solo part a little bit, but I didn't have to do too much in terms of the levels. So let's just listen for the stereo sound now one more time. We have guitar 1 coming in here, all the way on the left, and then guitar on the right. Now you could have done where you literally recorded the same exact part up top here and then just panned it opposite, and that would have sounded great too, but I prefer to do a little bit different voicings for those chords. I felt like it kind of popped a little bit more. Okay, step number 3 finally gets into mixing, and what I do for this guitar parts is to add a bus track. I feel like this makes my life so much easier, and it helps to tighten the guitar sounds and really give them a cohesive sound. So what I do for this is create a bus track. In Studio One, you just highlight all of your guitar parts, you right click, and then you click add bus track for selected channels. It'll automatically create that bus for you. And then I have that right here. So here is what I have on the bus channel, which is going to be affecting all of those guitar parts on those different tracks, okay? So first is a room reverb. Let's give it a listen without the room reverb and then with. So this is without. And then back with reverb. Yeah, you can hear that, especially when I hit stop, but that really helps to, I feel like, set the guitar parts in the mix a little bit by adding the reverb there. Now, I do have reverb through the pedal board, so this is an addition to what's going through the pedal boards and the sounds that's baked in, but again, I think this helps it to give it a more cohesive mix and set it into the mix better. The second thing I have is some delay. Let's give that a listen. This is without delay. And then with delay. So not a lot, just a little bit, 2.5% feedback and 4.5 dry wet. But it does, again, kind of like it's like a partner to the reverb and what it does. But here is what is really important, is to do the Pro EQ. I feel like this is just to, again, tighten everything up. So I have a low and a high pass filter going on here, cutting out everything above 10K and everything below about 50K. Now, there's not like you're going to hear a lot going on in guitars around 50K or even 10K. But this just ensures that you don't have anything, especially when you start adding reverb and delay, that makes it muddy. So that's what you don't want to have happen. Let's just give it a listen with and without the Pro EQ. Here's with, here's without. Without. So you can hear how it doesn't do a lot, but it does tend to tighten it up again. I don't know other way to describe it. Now, what I also could have done, which you're not hearing, is add a compressor. For the compression for guitar, because I already have a compression pedal going on, you can see just in the waveforms here, they're pretty tight. There's not a whole lot of dynamic range happening with these guitar parts, but if you wanted to, you could add a compression pedal back onto here. And with this, I probably would choose the fat channel, because the fat channel gives a little bit more characteristic to the sound, as opposed to like the regular compressor in Studio One, the digital compressor, which I feel like is more of a volume kind of stabilizer, equalizer, if you will. Makes the volumes more consistent, but the compressor of the fat channel gives it a little bit more characteristic of a quality. So let's just give a listen to some of these sounds with the fat channel. Yeah, that's a bit harsher. That's their standard one. Let's listen to the tube compressor. It's amazing what these will do. I mean, they instantly give a little bit more just character to the sound. So that is the tube, which I kind of like for the more that classic sound. Here's an FET compressor. I don't know, I kind of like that. If I were remixing it, I might choose to add a little bit of this fat channel. So you could add that compression onto your guitars as well, but the main point is that you do it through the bus channel. Hey, I hope that video helped you in your guitar mixes. Again, if you want to download my free Great Guitar Tone checklist, you can get that by clicking the link in the description below, and I'll see you on the next video.